As we speak, Mr. Simon was asked a tricky question in the Pyame District Court. The presiding judge asked Simon to give him a clear and distinctive explanation on his affiliations with the BRGIE. And the response coming from Simon will definitely blow your mind, because Simon said a lot of things that we all need to see and understand at this particular point in time. So in this video, I'll be giving you a full and a detailed analysis of every single thing that you need to see and understand at this particular point in time. Anyways, moving on swiftly. We also have an interesting news and update coming from the country of South Africa as we speak. A Nigerian lost his life in that country, and the girlfriend to this Nigerian planned on burying this Nigerian in South Africa. That particular plan and intention has raised a lot of eyebrows in the country, and a lot of South Africans stormed the streets of that country to protest against the plan of burying a Nigerian in that part of the world. In this video, I'll be giving you a clear and decisive analysis of every single thing that played out in South Africa just yesterday. Well, moving on swiftly, we have an interesting update coming from the President of Finland as we speak. On the 4th of July of 2025, the President of Finland made a statement which has gone viral and which a human rights activist in Uganda has reposted and heavily analyzed. The President of Finland, in the person of Alexander Stubb, spoke about international law, human rights, and rules governing nations of the world. Interestingly, some of the comments coming from the President of Finland has heavily contradicts his governing system in that country. Well, in this video, I'll be giving you a detailed analysis of every single thing that you need to know and understand regarding that particular case. Well, in this said video, we received an update coming from Dr. David Yoner Mansenga stating categorically the President of Nigeria will probably be banned or restricted from visiting the USA. Dr. David Yoner Mansenga, an individual who played a decisive role in the Kenyan High Court, has came up to give us a revelation regarding the President of Nigeria and the President of Cameroon regarding restrictions that are currently in plannings. In this video, I'll be giving you detailed and clear analysis of every single thing that you need to know and understand at this particular point in time. Well, moving on swiftly. We have an update coming from the EO land from the southeast that will make a lot of individuals rejoice and jubilate as we speak. The government of Nigeria has kickstarted a rehabilitation program and project on a particular infrastructure in the southeast region of Nigeria, which will definitely go a long way in fixing the southeast. In this video, I shall be disclosing the project and how the federal government of Nigeria will make the southeast better again. Well, moving on swiftly. While making this video, we received an update coming from the military junta of Mali. Yes, the military junta of Mali has made a declaration regarding his reign as the leader of that country, which will definitely send a lot of shockwaves across the continent of Africa. Yes, the Malian leader has done something nobody's expecting at this particular point in time. And in this video, I'll be giving you a full and clear analysis of every single thing within. Well, moving on swiftly while making this video, we also received a news coming from Mina, where a teenager has lived a lecturer in Foot Mina already happened behind the scenes. And why did a teenager claim the life of a lecturer in that state? Well, this video will give you every single clarity and every single info you need at this particular point in time. Moving on swiftly, we also received a notification coming from Abuja, where a particular bank, a bank situated in Abuja, has been sealed and locked up because of an incident that played out on the 10th of July of 2025. This video, I'll be giving you every single info you need regarding that particular case. And lastly, a Nigerian with Igbo descent has been signed by Arsenal Football Club, a footballing team situated in London, England. So, who is this Nigerian and how is he linked to Ebeland? What are the fees involved in the signing? What are the details in his contract? Well, in this video, we shall be discussing and giving an insight regarding that case. Well, with all of that being said, let's kickstart this video with our very first update. Yes, as mentioned previously, as mentioned before the start of this video, a particular rehabilitation and reconstruction project has kicked off in the southeast and the south-south region of Nigeria. What is this project and how will it benefit the people of Eland? Well, take a look at this article coming from Igbo History and Facts. It states, breaking, the Nigerian Railway Corporation says the federal government has began reconstruction and rehabilitation of the Eastern Railway Corridor. When we first saw this news, we were like, how possible is this? And we had to do a fact check to unravel all of the details and intricacies surrounding this rehabilitation project. Well, showing right now on your screen is a detailed and well-informed article coming from the Punch newspaper. It states, and I quote, "FG begins reconstruction of the Eastern Railway Line corridor," and this is coming from ENRC. The article also went a step further to give us more clarity, where it states the Nigerian Railway Corporation says the federal government has begun reconstruction and rehabilitation of the Eastern Railway corridor. The Railway District Manager, Eastern District, Enugu, Mr. Victor Adamu stated this while responding to national survey conducted by the News Agency of Nigeria on abandonment of railway lines in the country in Enugu on Wednesday. Adamu said that the rehabilitation and reconstruction of the narrow-gauge tracks had commenced from Potokot River State to Abia in Abia State. According to him, the narrow gauge traversed the Eastern District from Porokot to Maiduguri, Borno State, and other parts of Nigeria. Yes, this is a massive one, and we had to do some research to understand the amount of money that will be spent in this reconstruction project. A rail line that starts from Pora up until Borno State in Maiduguri. What I'll show right now on your screen are some info we managed to lay our hands on. States the contract of China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation, known as the SEC, reportedly secured a contract valued at approximately $3.0 billion for the full Port Maiduguri corridor spanning around 244 kilometers. Well, earlier reports put the estimated cost of that corridor at about $3.22 billion based on a funding model where 85% would come via foreign loans and 15% as a federal government counterpart funding. So, as you can clearly see, the Nigerian federal government has invested heavily on this construction project and this railway line, and as we speak, the rehabilitation of that line is ongoing from Packet that will lead to Aba in Abia State, Nigeria. Well, this is a massive one. This will greatly help with the easy transshipment of goods and services from Potokot to Abia and vice versa, and also to other parts of the eastern region of Nigeria. This is a massive one, and this will go a long, long way. Well, kudos to every individuals involved in this construction project, and kudos to the initiative behind it. We're moving on swiftly. Let's take a look at our next updates. Yes, a next update we have for you in this video briefing as we speak. The President of Finland, the person of Alexander Stubb, made a statement on the 4th of July of 2025, and a human rights activist from Uganda came up to contradict the statement coming from the President of Finland. Well, for better context, showing right now on your screen is a statement made by the President Alexander Stubb. It states Finland is strongly committed to international law and international rules-based order. The withdrawal from the convention will not affect Finland's other obligations under international law. And a different part of his speech released in March of 2024 gives us more clarity on why an activist from Uganda has heavily criticized President of Finland. We are showing right now on your screen is a speech released by Alexander Stubb on the March of 2024. It states during his inauguration speech in March of 2024, he identified democracy, rule of law, and human rights as the core tenets guiding Finland's new foreign policy alignment after joining NATO. So, as you can see, this man is stating that he's going to respect the rule of law, human rights, and other tenets of democracy when he became the president of that country. But as we speak, things have changed. A human rights activist known as Dr. David Yonarak Matsenga has clearly analyzed and also heavily criticized the statement coming from the Finnish president. Well, showing right now on your screen is a statement coming from this man released through his official Twitter page. It states, President, and attacked the President of Finland. On 4th of July of 2025, you affirmed Finland's strong commitment to international law and the rules-based order. Yet Finland engages with Nigeria, a state credibly accused of systematic human rights abuses. Which international law do you refer to, Mr. President? Coming from Dr. David Yonu Matsenga, where this man is asking the President of Finland, you said you respect human rights and the rule of law, and yet you are highly linked and affiliated with the President of Nigeria, who he believes does not respect the rule of law. And So David Nkarakmathenga is asking the President of Finland that why are you always contradicting your statement and your own words? If you want to respect human rights, don't associate yourself with Nigeria. Don't do deals with them. And if you want to respect human rights, you have to respect people and individuals who have spoken about injustice in Nigeria, which probably might be Simon, a man held in the Finnish correctional center. Anyways, moving on swiftly. While still talking about the president of Nigeria, Balakobu, we received an article coming from Dr. David Enorak Masenga himself claiming that the president of Cameroon and the president of Nigeria will receive travel restrictions from Donald Trump. Or showing right now on your screen is an article released by this man 1 hour ago, where it states USA visa court hits Africa hard. Washington has slashed visa validity for applicants from Nigeria, Cameroon, and Ethiopia. Nigeria, Cameroon are the main targets, with Trump reportedly weighing travel sanctions on President Bola Tinubu and President Paul Biya. Ethiopia faces restrictions reportedly due to its entry into BRICS, but its leadership is not under direct threat, and this statement was made by Dr. David Enorak Masenga, the human rights activist from Uganda. So when we saw this article, we had to do our own research to know if this is a propaganda or this is actually a correct news, because we can't give you any news that hasn't been fact-checked. We had to do some quick investigation, and showing right now on your screen are the results of our investigation. It states what the facts reveal: expanded travel ban in the USA. In mid-June of 2025, the Trump administration sent a diplomatic memo identifying 36 additional countries, largely in Africa, as potential targets for travel restrictions or visa bans if they fail to meet vetting and documentation benchmarks within 60 days. That expanded list includes Nigeria and Cameroon, among many others. This article also gave us a clarity on the case of restrictions and POI state. No indication of personal targets. The publicly available documents do not mention imposing personal travel bans on heads of states or specific individuals like President Tinubu or Paul Biya. The discussion is about citizens or passport holders from those countries, not presidential-level sanctions. So, as you can clearly see, the president of the USA isn't making any strides or move to place restrictions. The head of state of Nigeria and Cameroon, and that point is actually very, very clear to understand. Well, moving on swiftly, let's take a look at our next update as we speak. The military jaw of Mali has done something that nobody saw coming at this particular point in time. So, what has this guy done in the country of Mali? Well, for better understanding and for a clearer picture, take a look at this article showing right now on your screen, which is coming from The Punch. And this was released on the 10th of July of 2025 yesterday. It states, Mali Joint Chief approves law giving him unlimited mandate. The article also gave us full clarity where it states, Mali's Joint Chief has granted himself a 5-year presidential mandate renewable as many times as necessary and without election. In a law made public on Thursday, General Assimi Goïta's approval of the measure had been widely expected for several days and comes after the country's military-appointed legislative body passed the bill last week. The law, which was leaked to the public after being signed by Goïta Tuesday, allows him to lead the West African country until at least 2030, despite the military's government initial pledge to return to civilian rule in March of 2024. It is the latest in a series of restrictions on freedoms by Mali's military leadership to consolidate its power. So, as you can clearly see, the military Malia has done something that will definitely hit the democratic process in Mali. He wants to rule the country for 5 years, and he can renew his position after every end of his tenure without any form of elections. This is a massive one to the democratic levels in the African continent. Yes. And we all know that other military dictators in Africa would want to replicate this pattern implemented by Goïta in Mali. Well, we don't even know how all of these things would probably end. We don't even know if he one day before the end of his first tenure leave and maybe transcend into democratic rule in the country. Well, moving on swiftly. As mentioned in the start of this video, a commercial bank situated in Abuja, Nigeria, has been sealed by the CBN and other law enforcement agencies because of a particular issue that played out in Abuja just yesterday. So, what is the name of this bank and what really happened? Well, let me show you every single thing that you need to know and understand. Showing right now on your screen, it's an article coming from News 360. State court seals Abuja branch of Keystone Bank for withholding customers' funds. The article also gave us a clarity and a better understanding of this case, where it states a Federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja has sealed the regional head office of Keystone Bank following serious allegations of the bank withholding customers' funds and refusing to process legitimate withdrawal requests. The court's order executed on Thursday came after a series of complaints by aggrieved customers who accused the financial institution of deliberately blocking access to their deposits without any valid explanation. Investigations revealed that customers had persistently reported cases of failed transactions and withheld funds, with the bank allegedly ignoring demands for resolution. One of the affected customers, who spoke under anonymity, disclosed that several attempts to withdraw her money were frustrated by the bank for over 6 months.
Can you imagine?
So for over 6 months, customers of that bank, Keystone Bank, weren't able to withdraw their deposits and their savings.
Wow.
The said customer also gave us more clarity, where she states, "Each time I visited the bank, they kept making excuses about technical issues or system upgrades, but nothing changed. I had to approach my lawyer when it became clear they had no intention of releasing my money." She said, "Court documents obtained by our correspondent show that the judge condemned the bank's conduct, describing it as unlawful and a clear violation of customers' rights." And this happened yesterday in Abuja, in a branch operated by Keystone. Well, moving on swiftly. A teenager in Niger State has done something that raised a lot of eyebrows and have sent her to life in prison. What has this teenager done, and what are the intricacies of her offense? What's showing right now on your screen is a clear confirmation. It states teenager sentenced to life imprisonment for model of foot lecture. After 2 years of legal proceeds, a 16-year-old housemate, Joy A. Cafe, has been sentenced to life imprisonment for the uniling of Dr. Fumleo Adalu, a lecturer at the Federal University of Technology in Minna. So, as you can clearly see, a teenager has landed in a correctional center where she will definitely spend the rest of her life there because of a crime that she has committed. This article also gave us clarity, where it states the tragic incident occurred on the 28th of October of 2023 in Baku area of Minna, where Joy, alongside 2 accomplices now at large, attacked and unalived the lecturer. Joy had worked for Dr. Adalulu since early October that year. Was reportedly introduced to the household by Pastor Ojo Peters of the Voice of Mercy Church, a place both the deceased and Joy's mother attended. According to the court proct, Joy was dismissed from her job after she was caught stealing from the home. In retaliation, she conspired with 2 friends, DJ Wex and DJ Smart, to attack the lecturer. The court was told how they stabbed the lecturer multiple times and fatally struck her on the head with a wooden stool as she tried to defend herself. This is a sad one. And why will a house help go and get boys, get individuals to help beat up her former employer? This is a sad news, and definitely the other 2 individuals who are still currently at large. We need them arrested by the Nigerian police so that they will face and dance to the music they have created. Well, moving on swiftly, a Nigerian of EU descent in England has secured a new contract with a footballing club in London, situated in London. What's showing right now on your screen is every single thing you need to know and understand. It states, as agreeing on a Mad K fee with Chelsea, with personal terms not an issue, as Makita closes in on latest summer signing. Showing right now on screen is a news coming from Fabrizio Romano, one of the top insider journalists in the footballing world. He states exclusive non-adri to Arsenal. Here we go. Fee agreed in excess of £50 million with add-ons included. Green light from Chelsea. Madueke already agreed 5-year deal at Arsenal days ago and is now set to complete the move. The winger leaves Chelsea to join Arsenal Football Club. Well, kudos to this individual and kudos to Nimri for making that move. Well, we can't wait to see him play for Arsenal, and we can't wait to see him excel while adoring the white and red shirt of the club. Well, if you find this video interesting, please do well to subscribe and turn on post notifications. Thank you. Anyways, moving on swiftly, let's take a look at our main event in this video briefing. Couple of days back, Simon appeared before the Pyame District Court in Finland when the trial was still ongoing. Yes. So the prosecuting lawyer asked him an interesting question, a highly complicated question, so as to probably get some answers from him. And who came in? Well, Simon was asked to give a detailed breakdown of how and when he was appointed as a Prime Minister of the BRGIE, which is the BIAFRA government in exile. Yes, he was asked to give a detailed analysis of every single thing that played in within his appointment. Well, for better understanding, we have to show you the statement or the article coming from Yale, the biggest media outlet in Finland, so you can see and read things for yourself. Showing right now on your screen is the article coming from Yale in response to what Simon had to say about the BRGIE. Well, it states, and I quote, Simon was asked in the district court about the establishment of a new government in exile in BIAFRA in 2023. Simon said that he was contacted after the situation escalated in BIAFRA. The Nigerians who contacted us wanted the attacks on the BIAFRAN people to become known to the international community. So they established a new government in exile. In Simon's opinion, it would have been better to agree on the goals with the existing government in exile. But according to Simon, the others did not want it. Simon was proposed as Prime Minister of the new government in exile to which he was equally elected. Simon asserted in the district court that the goal of the government in exile was to promote the BIAFRA's independence diplomatically and politically, but not by force. The government in exile established contact with the U.S. Congress, which allowed Simon to meet with members of Congress. However, the visit of the USA was cancelled due to his arrest. And this is a response coming from Simon, which he claimed that yes, he's a member of the BRGIE. I am a member of the BRGIE because I was elected into the office. I was appointed and voted into the office. The main goal of creating this government wasn't to create any form of unrest in the southeastern region of Nigeria. The main goal of creating this body was to seek for the independence, seek for the country of BIAFRA while doing it peacefully and diplomatically, and also trying to involve the international burden and countries into the struggle of the USB people. As you can clearly see, this guy did not in any way, shape, or form deny or pull himself away from the BRGIE. He told the Pyame District Court that he himself is the Prime Minister of the BRGIE. But his position he was voted in, and the position here was to try to achieve BIAFRA peacefully and diplomatically by avoiding any form of chaos or security unrest in the southeastern region of Nigeria. So, as you can see, Simon has claimed to be the Prime Minister of the BRGIE without denying it in any way, shape, or form. And this particular news wasn't reported in Nigeria. It was actually underreported. And as we speak, we also have series of underreported news and articles that played out in the Pyame, the street court. And in our subsequent videos, we're going to definitely give you a detailed analysis and breakdown of every single thing that has played out behind the scenes. Anyway, in a video released yesterday, we showcase the fact that Simon has acquired the services of about 15 lawyers to stand by just in case the dispute between himself and the Pyramid Street Court get into an appeal. Yes, Simon has gotten the services of new lawyers waiting for a possible appeal.
Well,